Of course, we can't run away from the fact that 2027 is by the corner. And I also share the sentiment that for the opposition, they must let the people know why they are against these people before telling them what they intend to
That's
do.
right.
In terms of showing that we are with you, we share your pains. But let's look at issues around 2027. And one of the figures in 2027 is that always be a figure is P2B. And right now he has moved to the ADC, officially has joined the ADC. How does this strike you? And is it a positive development for the opposition? Or do you think he may run into an ambush?
You know, you're twisting me, you're bludgeoning me into discussing 2027. But I think because I'm a political animal and because there's going to be an election in the next few months, I know that in terms of political capital, Peter Gregory is about the biggest political weight in today's Nigeria. And so that perhaps is the reason why the ADC has grown in leaps and bounds since he joined. That's perhaps why people are beginning to say that the ADC has risen to become the leading opposition party ahead of the PDP. Peter Gregory is a fantastic candidate. But I think that two things are needed to defeat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. You must connect with the masses of our people, not the political class. I'm speaking deeply. What worked for him in 2022, 2023 was that he connected with a generation of young people, young boys and girls who wanted change. Now, the fervor does appear like some kind of an elitist movement, and I'm speaking advisedly. I think that the time has come for us. Now I'm using us because I subscribe to quite a lot about Peter Gregory. Now is the time for us to take the message back to the people. We must go to Musa and Karun Namuda and tell him that we're not opposed to your Fulaniness. We're interested in making leadership responsible and responsive to the people. The time has come to go to Nkechi in the southeast and tell Nkechi that our commitment is for your well-being and that of your children. The time has come to go to Ufoma in my home state of Delta, and so to her, that leadership may have failed you, but what we're interested in doing is to galvanize public support and work with you and your children to bet a nation that works for all. The time has come to go to Kemi and tell Kemi that the Yorubaness of today's leaders doesn't guarantee greatness for you. That what guarantees greatness is a leadership that understands that though tongue and tribes may differ, not only in brotherhood, but in commitment to the common good, we must stand. And I want to say this, when you go to the market, the price of tomato does not ask whether you're Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, or Ibibio, or thief. The price of beans is indiscriminate of whether you're ADC, APC, PDP, or Labour Party. And so we must understand that reality and take a message, a pan-Nigerian message to the people. And that's why when people call me to say, are you of the ADC now? I say, no, I belong to the people. I want the people to buy into the message for a new day and a new deal. I want people to identify with the fact that we must change this country and make leadership responsible and responsible to the people. I'm not interested in those who are standing on the mandate or on a blood-soaked mandate, on a corruption-riddled and reading mandate, on a mandate that has failed to protect the people. And I'm also not interested in those who have consistently contested elections in our country. I'm interested in how we bet a new nation that is responsible and responsive to the masses of our people. And that's what concerns me. So as we march towards 2027, Victor, I'll be part of those who will take the message of redemption, the message of a nation that works for all, to the people. And if I find the ADC, and I'm speaking futuristically now, if I find the ADC a worthy vehicle for that, I will join them in that journey. If I find any vehicle suitable for that, I will join them. I have chosen to be that one of those statesmen who are concerned about the next generation, not necessarily the next election. Because in 2023, we elected the most uneventful president in our historicity. And I don't want to be guilty of pushing another uneventful presidency in 2027.
And of course, you agree with me that to stand aloof in all of this would also be paying the price for allowing some very unworthy people to find themselves on the saddle.
That's why we're fighting. That's why we're taking the message to the people. But you know what? I'll give you a baffle. If you follow what happened in 2023, you know that the Nigerian people are actually not about the big parties anymore. Nigerians want to connect with someone who can bet a new deal and a new hope. So I'm not caught by the movements. I am interested in how we take the message of a new day and a new deal, and that's the greatest activity that you need now. Peter Gregory might become the greatest beneficiary of that. Any other candidate from any other party that connects with the people might become the greatest beneficiary. But we must tell our people that redemption does not come from the conventional politics. It doesn't happen. It has never happened. The redemption will come from those who identify with the people. Empathy, concern, brotherliness, emotional leadership, and commitment to the well-being of the people is what we need, not necessarily the mightiness of a political party or the mightiness of those who sing the song of our president. No, it's about us. And Victor, I'll say this, that I'm ready to work night and day with any candidate that connects with the people. Night and day.
Do you fancy P2B's chances picking the presidential ticket in the ADC?
Yeah, I speak with quite a lot of people in the ADC at the leadership level. And I think that the interesting thing is that some kind of new favor and interest in perhaps ensuring that he picks the ticket is the linchpin of the movement now. And some are even saying, oh, it'd be nice to have him as a presidential flag bearer and a Tambuwal as his vice. Some are also saying that it would be nice to have him as a flag bearer and a Kwakwanso as his running mate. And I think that the interesting development there is the fact that most of the debates actually are favoring his candidacy. My concern is that we take the message back to the people like we did in 2023. My concern is not about the politics of ADC. Like I said, I'm interested in taking the message of redemption and hope to the streets. It's from the streets that redemption comes.
I want to take this question now, the next question, from the context of what you said, taking P2B in 2020-2023, the party was able to connect with the people, and the people...
The message went to the streets.
The message went to the streets. Now, do you share the sentiment of the likes of Pat Utomi, who said if P2B decides to accept the candidate of a vice presidential candidate to any other person in the party, that he will withdraw his support?
Victor, most of the people on the streets do not want him to run as a vice to an Atiku Abubakar. And so I can connect with my big brother's position. But you know what? I truly want to say this. I will campaign, fight for, and work with P2B only if it takes the message back to the streets. So mine is different from Pat Utomi's. Mine is, I will support a candidate who takes the message to the streets, who identifies with the streets. Let me remind you, Victor, that in 2022 and 2023, every Nigerian street every state capital. In some places, we had street marches in almost every local government headquarters across this country. The P2B movement was absolute. The obedient movement was organic. I am yet to see that favor. And I've written to P2B directly, I've spoken to him about it directly. So I'm not saying what he will deny. That until we take back the movement and the message to the people, the redemption we seek is distant. And I'm saying clearly that for me, it is taking the message back to the people. If we want to save Nigeria, redemption is in the streets, not in exclusive halls where political bigwigs and those who have been part of the Nigerian wrath so pretend. No. I want to see young boys and young girls connect with the hope that we promise. I want them to be able, because it's only when that is done that you can see people rise up to defend their votes when votes are cast. If people do not buy into the message, if it becomes an ADC candidate, not the people's candidate, it will be very easy to rig him out in 2027. So I'm looking for a redemption that is concrete, actualizable, and plausible.
Talking about this movement, some critics say that the obedient fire has burnt out. It was 2023 was just a fluke. And do you think if P2B should get the ticket, that is able to reconnect or reenact that same fire in the obedient movement again?
Victor, I'll tell you something very simple. The obedient fire is alive and well. What appears like some kind of lethargy is a leadership mistake, and P2B is largely responsible for that mistake. All he needs is to right that wrong, correct it, and the obedient fire will burn again, better, more strident, and tougher than it did in 2023. And I say this without equivocation. You don't take an organic movement, a movement that belongs to the streets, and regularize it. If you must regularize it, you hand it over to a core obedient, not a conventional politician. And so until there is a rework of the organogram of the obedient movement, until there is a proactive effort by P2B and those around him to take the movement back to the people, those who are saying that, oh, it's a fluke, may applaud their predictions. But I think that the obedient movement is still very active, effective, efficient, and ready to burn, and ready to defeat those who do not care about the masses of our people. What is necessary is for the leader of the obedient movement, who to me is Peter Gregory, to rework the modalities, the organogram, and the structure of that movement. Take it back to the people, give it back to the people, and you see that Nigerians truly want a nation that works for all.